I will show you how to create an instance, Windows instance in EC2. In case of Windows Server instance in Amazon Web Server, the interesting part is that we can have the GUI mode also. That how we are installing and opening our Windows systems. The same thing we can view when we start our AWS EC2 computing engine. Now we have our account through AWS Educate. It is specifically given for the educational institution, and what are the students? Actually, the educator has to create this account, and the university's name have to be registered in Amazon Web Server Educate platform. And if the university's names appears, so that case the educators can create one account in AWS for a particular class, and for that class who are the students, you can invite all the students, and if the students register after getting a link from AWS Educate, then each of the students for that particular semesters will get $50 to $100 of credit vouchers. If they can utilize it more than 80% of utilizations, that case after request they can increase the amount of the credit voucher. So this facility they provided, AWS is providing to the students right now. So like in my classrooms, I will show you that total 52 numbers of students who have enrolled for this course, and out of this 52 numbers of students, 40 students have already joined, and after joining they got $50 of credit voucher. And if I go to that particular classroom, I can have the entire students data and how they are utilizing this AWS account, and how they are creating this EC2 instances, how much bandwidth they have occupied, and how much of credit balance they have already utilized. So everything will be viewed. Like if I go to account, so these are the students details, and they, as already I told, that this account and the credit vouchers will be valid for the entire semesters when the classes of the particular subjects will go. My subject is cloud computing architecture and deployment model, and this classes have started in July 2018 and it will end by 20th December 2018. And by this time, how much of $50 credit vouchers has been utilized, so every details will be shown, and you have to assure that the students are utilizing it properly and the utilization level is more than 80%, so that in the next semester you can apply for more credit vouchers. Now let us go to my classroom. And if I as an educator, I also got $150 of credit voucher. And if I go to AWS console, so mind it that this AWS console is totally different from the AWS account that you have created. A separate account will be logged in. So this is the account, and the account name is this. And the account ID is also different. And another interesting part is that the billing dashboard, my account, all the details will be disabled. You don't have the authorization to use those details because you are not utilizing it for the commercial purposes. Somehow it is not opening. Okay, let us move back to my EC2 instances. And already one instance I have created and it was running. Now let us launch one instance. Now I want to create one Windows 2016 base. Now let us create one instance using 4 GB of RAM. Let us start from the beginning. Actually, lots of instances options are there, so we'll go only for the low to moderate account with the 4 GB of RAM. So this is our main account, and go to the configure instances. So number of instances is 1, and the account RAM size is 4 GB, and next add the storage, and 30 GB of storage capacity is free of cost. Now let us add one tag, and tag is Windows Server 6 and 255. Configure the security group, as we are going to create an Windows instances, so it should be connected with remote desktop protocol, that is Windows proprietary, and the port range must be within 3389, and I have to give one public IP. Instead of this one, you can give your elastic IP address also, and in description part please put it the remote desktop protocol. So this is the basic details of my EC2 instance. So 2 virtual CPUs will be used, and 4 GB memory and electronic block storage will be used, and network performance is low to medium. This is my instance details. Storage is 30 GB, and tag is Windows Server with the key, the SSH key that will be created, that will be 255 character length. Now I am launching my instances. Now whether you want to launch your instances with the existing key pair, okay, I have one key pair, or otherwise you can create your own key pair. So let us create another key pair. So whatever key pair you will choose, you have to download it, and you have to keep it securely in some places, because after downloading that key pair and launching the instance, you will not be able to download that key pair in any condition. If you lose that key pair, that case your server can never be start up again, and you are going to lose all your data. So be cautious, and you have to put that key pair in a secure place. And another thing is that that key pair is a public key that is provided by AWS, and either you can convert it to a private key and use that at the time of opening your server. So I am downloading that key pair. Okay, I have to give one name of that key pair. So I am giving that Windows Server AWS Educate 3. Now my key pair is downloaded. Now let us copy that key pair and put it in a secret place. Here my list of key pairs are there. Now launch that instance. So it will take some time to launch the instance. Not only that, another thing is that after launching your instances, it will take another 4 to 5 minutes to generate your key pair also. Now let us go to my EC2 instances. EC2 management console. I will find out that how many instances are running right now. I have 3 instances. 1 instance is now shut down and 2 instances are running. Out of this, 1 instance is now initializing, that is the instances that right now the one I have already created, and that is the Windows Server AWS Educate 3. So you have to check every time that if you get confused that if you have multiple numbers of servers, that which server is created right now and which server is created earlier, that can be identified through the launch time and as well as the key name of that particular server. Now by this time, whenever it is initialized, by this time let us see what are the details for that particular instances that we have created. It has one public IP is given, and mind it that this public IP is a volatile one. That means if you stop that server and if you restart it, in that case your IP will again get changed. So to keep that IP intact with you, instead of opting for a public IP, you have to go for an elastic IP. So here the elastic IP portion is null because we have not applied for any elastic IP. Now that elastic IP, you can associate that elastic IP with a particular instance for a longer time period, and you don't have to pay for that one if you are using that one. But if your server is stopped, that case the elastic IP will be associated with your account but not with your server. That case for maintaining that IP idle, you have to pay one very minimal amount of penalty. Okay, so the server is still has not started. Now by this time let us see that what are the options that we can get using that Amazon AWS account. So for the organizations also you can create one AWS, and for the billing management that I told that we need a permission to open that billing console. Now let us connect. By this time I think there is some network problem. There is some network problem is there. Let us try to open that one using some other account. Okay, now both the instances are now in a running condition. Sorry for the interruption, that is due to the network connectivity problem. Now let us try to connect this one. Now I have to download the remote desktop file, and also I have to get the password. Now to generate the password, I need this PM file, that is the key pair file that we have generated. This is the key pair file. Now decrypt password. Let us copy the password and then start this remote desktop file. Now it will ask for the password. So if I give the password, now my Windows Server 2016, that we have created in Amazon Web Server, is now starting. Now here the details is showing. So this is the details of the machine. Now you can have the details from here also itself. So 4 GB RAM is being utilized, and 2.3 GHz of Xeon processor has been taken. 64-bit machine, this is the computer name, and this is the product ID that is provided by AWS. And for the disk space, we have taken 30 GB. Out of this, 15.7 GB is free, and rest of them are used for installing that your Windows Server 2010, and the entire details. This is the host name, and this is the instance ID, this is the public IP address, the private IP address is given, and AMD 64-bit architecture machines has been utilized, and the network performance. So, and what about the network connectivity? Network connectivity, as we have taken moderate, low to moderate. So network will not be that much of speed we are going to get, but still we will get a good amount of speed out of it. So this is my personal home page that has been created for my students. So if you want the related video lectures, that case you can click here, 2018 odd semester. And in 2018 odd semester, if you go for this courses, cloud computing architecture and deployment model, then you will find out the video lectures also. So as the JavaScript is not enabled over here, that is why these video lectures are not being shown, but you can take the link from here and utilize this one. So hope you have understood that how to create an EC2 Windows EC2 instances.